The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space. Partially during our space flight, we landed on an asteroid. Over the course of a few hundred cycles, we had mined out the asteroid, converting its resources into various things that we needed in order to keep 24 dupes alive. We made a lot of automated machines to take, cool, or convert items into other items. We then turned on a machine that would allow us to take a dive into the dreams of one of our dupes. Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Oxygen Not Included. So, on our last stream, on Sunday, we went all the way over to Waterloo. We came all the way down here, grabbed some graphite. It looks like more graphite has, in a way, spawned in. But pretty much, it's just the graphite is breaking due to the pressure of the water. It's not that it's just magically appearing, it was already there. Then we went over to Tariba a few times, and we've been trying to come all the way down here to get some Niobium to take home to turn into Thermium, right? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Thermium. And that is pretty much a better aluminum for temperature transfer related pipes and stuff like that. It's the same thing as aluminum. It just has better thermal conductivity and a heat capacity. Usually it would tell you like heat transfer and something that says easily raise in temperature, or is that heat transfer? There might be heat transfer. I don't know. Either way, we can do that, and we can also combine it with plastic and brack wax, which we do not have, to make plastium, which is a way to make Flydo, which I don't know about. I think that's in one of the DLCs. So that's a reason to have plastium. Other than that, I don't know what it's used for, other than a plastic-related thing in hot temperatures. Because it is using a hot resistant metal. But anyway, today our goal is to just get this Thermium or Niobium and go home. We have dupe on the triage cot. I'm pretty sure that our other dupe, who is probably inside Uranus, Gino, is also heavily damaged. So we're going to be switching them out in a little bit. Actually, we could probably switch them out now. No, because we need... yes, actually, we should switch out Gino with dupe, or the other way around. We need Gino to come down here to dig all this out. We can't do that without Gino. So I'm going to set all this up to be dug out again. And... then we will get the heck out of here. Now, with a dupe being nearly fully healed, we're going to tell them to build the ladders all the way down here, because they shouldn't have to get hurt. They do get hurt a tiny bit because of the magma. Oh, that's not actually where we wanted to go first with the ladders. We wanted to go straight down the magma here, because dupe is getting hurt more or less because they're standing in the magma for a period of time, more than the magma is too hot. So up here it is the same amount as down here, if not actually hotter. Wow, that's surprising. 1507 down here at the bottom. 1513 way up here. So I don't know where the why the temperature is so high. Does it raise as it's going over? Okay, maybe it does. It looks like it raises as it goes further to the right. Now, something we could do is build tiles at the bottom of the magma, pushing it up, which would lead it over to the space exposure. And then we could just vent off the magma into space. That would probably help. Now, if Dupe could do this one first, they would be able to reach this obsidian, which make this easier. Oh, they could already reach it. I don't know why they chose to be down here then. Dupe, you're going to get a little too hurt. I'm gonna have to cancel these 2 ladders because they're already too hurt. Hopefully Gino is close to being fully healed so we can use them to dig. Now they are technically suffocating, but they should be getting healed. Or no, not healed. They should be getting a breath per second as they're sitting here. So in a way, the triage cot is actually giving them something to breathe. Another thing we could do is actually nothing. No, we could add another layer of tiles up here to make the triage cot in 0% rads. Like down here below it, underneath the next tile, is 0 rads per cycle. Up here, it's 3.84. So I wonder if we could do that while Dupe is getting healed. They should be able to grab the obsidian that's right here without having to do anything up here. Or before doing anything up there. Now they are going to spend their initial time doing doctoring, and then they'll go around to do other stuff. But hopefully we will be able to get one of them healed enough that when we switch, we don't have to switch as quickly. And they're actually... Oh, that's right, because this is disconnected. That makes sense. Okay, let's put that ladder in then. Now, they can't get to this ladder from below, so hopefully they'll pick up obsidian from right there and do exactly what they're doing right now. Awesome. Now, can you go out of the magma? Why were you just standing in it, Gino? What was up with that? Gino, you're standing in it again. Gino. Gino. Dupe. Hurry up. We may have to... What are you doing? Dupe. Is Gino gonna die this early into the stream? Because Dupe is going to get hurt as they are in here. Okay, they made it out. Gino is no longer going to be dead. Gino's not even here yet. And we already had a close call. I don't know if it's worth building up another triage cot over here. It probably wouldn't hurt having another one. Dupe's gonna definitely build that ladder and then get hurt. Yep. Okay. No more building until Gino's at least half health. Going down here, they just waste too much time standing in this. I am debating on if we should do something else. We could keep pumping this out. I wonder if we did a temporary water pump, if we could just pump it into the vacuum of space and have it drip and then expel it that way. Not only would we need power to hook into that, we would also have to deconstruct it every now and then when it's fully broken so that they don't try and fix it. Ooh, Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is a Gen 1 Pokemon in chat. There was also a Ditto earlier, but apparently I have both. Trying to fix the chair because it keeps sliding in it for some reason. I have been getting a lot of spam stuff today. I don't know what's going on, but occasionally I'm going to be distracted trying to get these people to leave me alone. Like, this is about home heating. I don't own a home. I've never signed up for real estate stuff. I don't know why. I just got an email about that. I am surprised that this being 1,000 plus kilograms has not like burst through the tiles. It's a little bit odd. Okay, Gino is about half health, so we'll switch him out with Dupe. Hopefully Gino can build that one ladder before getting too hurt. We're gonna keep going back and forth as we build an additional ladder down to here. Actually, that's probably close enough with the ladders that they have. So I'm gonna cancel that and just do this. If they're only coming down here to grab the debris and then leave, they shouldn't be standing in the magma for long enough to get hurt. Well, melting point is 2,700. Okay. I already, after maybe 10 minutes, have a low battery alarm in my earbud. Why are you sleeping there? Aren't there 2 beds inside here? Maybe there's not. Alright. See, Gina was only in the magma for a couple seconds. Now, for some reason, they're scolding. Why are they scolding? Oh! That would be why. We still have carbon dioxide down here. That's an issue. They didn't get hurt that time, but that is something to keep in mind. I didn't realize that we still had carbon dioxide down here. We've been here long enough that I thought that would have been all taken care of. Are there milligrams down here? Oh, there is a lot. Luckily, digging the niobium doesn't take too long. I do have to keep an eye on how damaged they are, though. The suffocating warning I'm fine with, but the damage warning is what I'm worried about. And of course, digging through the obsidian takes a little bit longer than the niobium, but aside from that, they're fine. When Dupe is fully healed, hopefully, we'll know after they dig these 2 ladders, or build the 2 ladders. But we're gonna have them finish this ladder run over here so they can go all the way down and get the obsidian from over here. I don't think they really need it anymore. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it would just help future runs over to here. Dupe might actually get fully healed before we leave. Because Gino is doing great work coming down here and digging about 8 tiles every time he comes down. He's probably only gonna only dig 1 and then leave. The next thing he should do after digging those 2 tiles is the 2 ladders and then clean up the niobium on the ground. We do have stuff way over here. I don't think we looked in this yet. No, because there's magma here. I haven't rummaged through it or inspected it because there's too much stuff to go through. Although we could start digging down there. We would get a little bit more niobium, because there is some right here. And it would allow us to get this. I think I am going to do that when we're able to. Another thing we could do to help this gas leave a little bit quicker is to start building tiles out another block. They would try to build it from over here, though. And I don't want them to do that. So, I'm gonna let them finish this. Of course, Gino's doing doctoring first. Getting almost to the end. I think the next thing I'll do is actually set up another triage cot just in case. Because they're going to do it in Niobium pretty quickly. Let's start setting it up. It won't take too long. The thing that would take the longest is Did you just finish? You did finish! Look at that. The thing that would take the longest is doing the top tiles, because they can't reach too far. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the tallest they can reach from over here. So if I queue up both of those, they would need to deconstruct that 1 tile. And then they'll be able to reach all the other obsidian. I want to get the radiation done first. So that we're not getting bombarded. My other headphone. Welcome in, Oz. My other headphone is now giving me the low battery warning. Have you been on the server yet today, Oz? I was on there for a little bit before I went live, just doing more clay digging. They are choosing weird places to do first. Luckily, there's a lot of obsidian right here that they don't really have to stay down there that much. Early morning camp week. Well, that sounds fun. I think a few of my coworkers that I hang out with a lot outside of work were thinking about doing a camping trip this summer. It was either that or the beach or both, but I'm pretty sure it was camping. Now, I know I don't really need to do all 3 tiles above the triage cot. I really only need to do the center one. But I think the less that they're walking in here, the better. Son and husband are hoping to go... Oh wait, I missed a message. Oh, it's your son's engineering and robotics. Oh, I knew that you weren't... I didn't think that you meant you were out camping. How else would you be on the computer or on your phone? But since you said camping, that's where my mind went. Because me and my coworkers were just talking about it. Yeah, the weather is not looking great in my area either. It's going to be in the is it the high 90s or low 90s? Let me check. Today is supposed to be 84. Tomorrow and Friday is supposed to be around 90. And then the weekend's going to go down 5 degrees, but that's not going to feel like much of a difference. All I'm saying is it's way too hot for me to be outside. Oh, that is a lot of people that have to go if you go. I have been letting the kitten go outside when I go outside for a short amount of time. And he is loving it. He was hating it at first because there's too many noises going on. But the more he goes out, the better he's doing. He's not being as scared of random noises. One of my coworkers drives by my house during their own school bus run and says hi to Mom. And the one day she brought out the kitten just to show. And when they applied the parking brake, the bus makes a loud air release noise. And it scared the kitten too much. So he was terrified of being outside for a few minutes. Okay, now that we have 2 triage cots, if somebody gets incapacitated when the other person is already on here, we can switch them out, and then that other person can go into the second one. That's the whole plan here. You should build one of those cage systems so you can't go outside. You know, that would be a good idea. I just don't know where I would place it. I think they're called catios or something like that. I do want to build one for the window that's right behind the monitors right now, because I am above the roof, so it would be supported from the bottom. It's not like it would just fall out the window if something came loose. And it would be the safest way for me to be able to keep an eye on them. Yeah, Oz, you missed it last stream. Gino may have almost died multiple times. We're not going to say that Gino almost died already this stream, because that definitely didn't already happen. He definitely did not stand in the magma, become incapacitated while Dupe was on the other triage cot, and then Dupe became suffocated multiple times trying to get down to there. And then Dupe definitely did not get hurt so much that he was on 10% of vitality. That definitely did not happen, because that would never happen on this stream, on this channel. It definitely wasn't because I was trying to build these 3 ladders so they get to the obsidian. It definitely was a made-up story, 100%. It definitely wasn't because they're doing what they're doing right now and just standing in the magma. And then they just keep... Why do they say that this is the best place for them to stand? You don't need to become idle in the magma. I wish I could say that's how they got hurt the first time. But it wasn't. They were just standing in it to build ladders. They yearn for the spice. The next thing I want to do is build this out one more block to the right so that we can dig down further and let this carbon dioxide escape faster. Because 2 tiles is quicker than 1 tile. But the thing that I'm worried about is that they're going to try and build it from inside the magma rather than staying outside. So I think the safest thing that I can do is block off the ladders. I'm trying to think of how to block off this one. I guess the first step would be to dig those 2 tiles and then deconstruct 2 ladders here. I guess it would be these 2 ladders. Or would I have to do all 3? Because I think they can go from here onto here. We're gonna find out. Let's deconstruct those 2 first. And then that one. How did you get heated? What? How did you get overheated? Why are you standing right there? Why stop standing in the magma for no reason. It was different when there was a reason to stand there. But now there is no reason. Okay, we're gonna dig those 2 tiles, or 6 tiles, I guess. And what I'm gonna do is this. And we're gonna deconstruct 1 tile at a time. Now, if I'm lucky, this is gonna push the magma down and up, or it'll be vacuumed out? Destroyed? It's gonna go up into this tile, because, no, actually it's not, because there's carbon dioxide there, so never mind. I'll put a ladder there just so that it can definitely reach everything. Once they do this and we dig all of this out, we're gonna start making our way over to here, which will take a little bit. We're gonna take these tiles and place them right there. I missed a tile before the autosave, now I have to wait. Luckily they can take the obsidian that's down here, and there is a Niobium volcano right there. I'm not sure why Gino hasn't dug that out yet. It seemed a little weird. But we're gonna keep doing this 1 tile at a time. It's not the fastest way, but it's the safest way. I kind of think I want dupe on the triage cot just so that they can get healed. Once once dupe is fully healed again, we'll switch them out for Gino, even though Gino's not like dangerously low. Dupe is below half of their health, Gino's about 3/4. I think it's fine. They keep bringing obsidian from over here to over on this side instead of using the obsidian that's close by. They'll probably do it the fastest. Never mind, they went inside the rocket. Let me just make sure that the rad's up here. Definitely 0 per second. Or cycle, I mean. We could do the same thing over here. Just building a corridor of radiation proofing. That might be worth doing, but it would take a while to do. Since we would need, what is this, 6 tiles, or is it 5? I think it's 6. It is 6 tiles. The main reason why I just opened this up is so that we can vent out the gas a little bit quicker. Because we're still at milligrams down here at the bottom, but we're getting closer to being there. Is this raising at all? I don't think it's actually raising. I think that the moment I open this up, all this magma is going to go just shooting up through this hole. I don't know if it's going to happen that way, but I'm pretty sure it will. And it does bother me that this magma is here at the rocket platform, but it's not hurting the platform. Okay, dig all of that. Welcome in, Dotterly. It has been a while since I think you've last been here. I just got another low battery warning in the headphones, so they're probably going to die within next 15 minutes. I'm trying to figure out what the beeps mean in the headphones. So I'm guessing that when it beeps only once, it's the first time it tells me it has low battery. It just beeped twice. So I'm thinking maybe that's the last 5-minute warning? Wait, what wasn't you, Dotterly? Your phones? Oh, it was the headphones. They're dying. The earbuds are dying. The case wasn't fully charged last night when I got done using them, and I didn't know. This does not tell me when it has a low battery, and it annoys me. The only way I know is when I put the headphones in and then I check them later, and it has a red dot saying that the headphones didn't get charged. If there was a way for me to tell that this was low battery, I would never have this issue. That's why you still prefer cables. I do too, but a lot of things that I have now don't have headphones anymore, or no plugs for it. It annoys me. I do still have headphones. They're just not good quality. I started enjoying the earbuds more than the headphones. Is Dupe almost done? They are almost done. There we go. Now, if I wasn't going to be using Geno to get all the way over here, I would put Geno in there. But now we're going to go down to here. We'll do each tile one at a time. And then we're going to have to go down... No, we can dig these and then go down one. So it would be like... this, then this. And then we're gonna build a tile right here just so I don't have to go down again. I could also just go straight across, but I think this would be easier than trying to build a tile. This is gonna take time because I have to wait for them to build the tile before they can continue going. And trying to do that up here would take a little bit longer than I would like to wait. But we're gonna see how much niobium we can get over here. There is a lot of weird neutronium stuff that's just sitting in here. Like, this looks like a volcano could be there, but there isn't. I don't know what's going on with that. And I'm also surprised that these drywall are not melted yet. Oh, they're made out of obsidian. Then why did the other ones turn into sour gas? Were they made out of plastic? I don't know. Got a 9-tail cat USB thing? That's cool. I have a truck that still has a cassette player as part of its radio. And before the radio completely went, and I can't use it anymore now, I used to have a cassette tape that had an aux cord come out of it. I don't know how it functionally worked, but all I know is you put the cassette tape in the radio, you plug the other end into your phone, and it would play music magically on your car, or in your car. But then my next phone, the one that I currently have, no longer has the headphone jack. So along with that cassette to aux cord headphone jack thing, I also had to get an adapter that goes from a USB-C to headphone and a charger cord. So I had a cassette player plugged into a Y-split cord that both charged my phone and was a headphone jack connected into my phone. So it looked like I was plugging into my phone to like 3 different places in the truck. And then my radio just stopped working. I went to Walmart. I was playing music, was enjoying my day. I parked the car. I go into Walmart, I get all my stuff, I come back out, ready to listen to more music, and it just never turned back on. Yes, Leopard, we're doing the thing that Willow never does. we already have some, Leopard. This whole area, this pocket, and right here was Niobium. Inside Bold Uranus, we already have a few. Let's see how much we actually have. Because I don't know how much. We have... We'll round this up and say we have 600 kilograms. Why? That's not what I meant to do. Why are we scolding? Is it just the carbon dioxide's too hot? That's probably what it is. We did just open this up, for those who weren't here at the beginning, we did just open this up into being 2 blocks wide of gas, so we can vent the exhaust quicker. This is all just leftover carbon dioxide from landing here, like, 20 cycles ago. Speaking of 20 cycles ago... Alright, our food's still good for a little bit. That pickled meal will just completely drop off the face of the earth at some point, when it all expires at the same time. So although it lasts longer than all the other foods, it will expire just randomly. We won't have any food. We'll have to immediately go home when I notice those refrigerators are empty. The whip with 9 in its name. I've heard my mom call it a cat and 9 tails. Or it was cat with 9 tails, I forget. One of those 2 things I just typed in chat. I was wondering where Leo was when you were on the superconductive. It is cat. It probably comes off of one of those spirits. I forget like which culture it's part of, but there is a spirit that is a fox with 9 tails, so probably comes from that. I don't know. That's okay, though, far either way. Were you on the server when I was on just before I started streaming? I logged in just a little bit to try and dig out more clay from in front of my house. Alright, there was 2 people that were on the server. And I didn't remember who it was. I think Willow joined right at the end, right as I was getting out. Brits, it originally was an implement for fiscal punishment. That I did know. But where did the name come from? Like, how did they decide the name? I get what it was for. I luckily did not grow up with it as a punishment thing. But I do know a few adults older than me that have had that as a disciplinary thing. It has 9 strands. Okay. Well, my one headphone did die, and it beeped twice about 7 minutes ago. So I'm gonna guess 2 beeps means I have 10 minutes left before the earbud dies. And it's always the right one that goes before the left. I don't know why. They don't die at the same rate. I don't know if I used the right one more alone, and the battery on it just dies quicker now. It's the same as my watch. My watch used to last almost 3 days before I'd have to recharge it, and it now doesn't even last 2 days. I actually just looked at the app yesterday when I charged it fully, and it said that it was charged for 1 day and 23 hours. So it doesn't even make it 48 hours, it's 47 hours of battery. It wasn't like it said 1 day, 43 hours, 59 minutes. It just said 23 hours. It was weird. Alright, how close are we doing? The opening this up to being 2 blocks wide has actually released a lot of gases down here. We were at like hundreds of grams down here. I think another thing we can do to make this a little bit better for us is to dig out a few more tiles from around here, which would allow us to have more gas escape. How did you... Oh, that was a regular tile. And then I'm gonna guess that these two should be dug out. Venomoth is in chat. Venomoth is a Gen 1 Pokemon, and as far as I know, I already have it, because I remember in a previous stream, I caught it. Did you play the beta for the new DLC? I have not. I actually know nothing about the DLC, other than there's something water related. I have not seen anything about it. I'm kind of with Leofar on this. Like, I'm not opposed to hearing about anything that's in it, but I also do not want to play it before it comes out. We'll dig that too, because I don't know how gases work diagonally. Like, does this count as 2 blocks wide? Because technically it's 3 blocks, but it's not going down one as it could go. I don't know. I don't know. That's just it. Do that. This should be good enough to allow the gases to escape as quickly as they can. Because we are at 14 milligrams over here. 14 up there, and then 12 down here. So it definitely was escaping this way first. Once I see it starting to become a vacuum, everything's going to be a little bit easier to survive down here. Why would being 2 blocks wide be important? 2 blocks wide allows the game to process gas moving faster. So, in an example where you want carbon dioxide to sink down between oxygen, if you had a 1 ladder run and then the blocks here, it would take longer for the carbon dioxide to fall than it would if you had 2 blocks wide, because the carbon dioxide can fall or go to the other side and then fall. It just allows the game to process the change quicker, and we're doing the opposite with this carbon dioxide, trying to make it vent out into space. So it does the same thing going up that it would going down with carbon dioxide. It does the same with the other gases too, it just helps them move around a lot faster. I think it's the same with liquids as well, but I think liquids are also viscous enough that they would try to stay in one tile. So like if you're trying to move 2 different liquids at the same time, I don't know what would be better for a liquid. I think just having 1 block is fine, but then when the liquids stack on each other as they're falling, I'm pretty sure one would make a mess while the other one's still going. I don't know. Liquids get complicated more than gas, I think. Once we get over here, we're definitely going to try and take these 2 pieces of niobium if we can with the amount of food we have. We do need to drop this magma and build tiles there so I don't lose whatever is in this locker. Why did that air turn to sour gas? This was actually a room that was in a vacuum, and every tile in here had drywall, and it all melted. So I'm gonna guess that the drywall that what has melted was made out of plastic. These are all made out of obsidian, so that's the only reason why they're still there. Rock gas? Mouse stuck. There we go. No. Because the magma wouldn't have been... Well, we don't have rock gas, but the magma wouldn't have been hot enough to turn into it. That's pretty cool though. You can turn molten glass and uranium into rock gas. What is rock gas used for? Oh, it's just turned back into magma. So you can turn glass or liquid uranium into magma. That's a good way to turn uranium into igneous rock, though. It's a very complicated way of doing that, but if you really need igneous rock and you have time to spend on it, you could do that. Normally, see, the magma was in here as well. So the magma up here was touching tiles. Like, there's a tile behind this pedestal. So the magma probably melted these first, which created the sour gas, which then made the rest melt. It all melted on our last stream. If the VOD is still up on the channel, you can see at some point we got like 15 building melted alerts, and when we looked over here, it was just each tile was just popping off. It was like watching popcorn. Now that they got to this, they should be able to dig all of that. We're down to 7 milligrams, and it's even on this side now because we opened this up diagonally. So that should allow this to vent out a tiny bit quicker. I know the closer down here gets to 5 milligrams, that should be when up top starts becoming a vacuum. So this is gonna still be venting off gas for a while, but I think when this gets below 5 milligrams, we'll start seeing this trailing down the corridor here. There's a little bit of atmosphere behind the rocket, which is probably the reason why we have so much gas here. I'm gonna guess that means that this is becoming a vacuum right there. Whoa, why did Gino become incapacitated? Is it... Dupe! Dupe! You dropped Gino after picking them up. Okay, Gino got dropped off and then went into the rocket, so they're getting healed. Dupe is also somewhat badly injured. They're definitely below half of their health. Luckily, with all of our changes that we've done so far, you know what might be beneficial for them? If we moved all of this in line with our rocket here. How difficult would that be for me to do? We have a lot of obsidian down here, so we just have to bring it up. I think we're going to do that. I think it would be beneficial for us. And if I do this in a smart way, we can build all of it top down. So we need a ladder going up at least 4 blocks from the rocket here. That brings us to this point, which we would actually want to start doing tiles here, and then those 4. I guess we can also do these now as well. It wouldn't hurt. We could probably do the ones underneath as well. Trying to think of how we're gonna do this area. I think we'll have to do a ladder system here. Not a ladder, a stair system here. So if we're keeping this tile here, the floor, that's not going to work. We have to go one more tile. We have to go here. Ah, I didn't pause it before the autosave. Oops. And there goes the other headphone. So you guys may occasionally hear an echo with the game, because now it's on my speakers. I tried to play without the speakers, but we can't avoid it today. So that should get us to here without dropping the magma in here as well. And then from there we can go further down. We'll have to make a couple ladders. And then this looks like abyssite going all the way up to here. So this, plus this Niobium, which we're never going to go to, and whatever could be down here in this right corner would be all the Niobium that we could see. We do have one volcano, so we can come back to that in the future if we need to. They're doing pretty well on this. Were we doing anything in Ladado? I don't think we were. We should probably do a regular pod. I don't need the plug slugs anymore. We have the smog slugs, the only ones that we're going to use. We do, on the other hand, have debris over here. We have some power lines we don't need over here anymore. And I'm going to tell them to build those ladders back. Where did we have them doing manual sweeping? They did everything on the sides. There's a little bit right here. Welcome in, Gino. Somehow you still got first, and there's been multiple people in here talking. I didn't even catch that until just now, Gino. That's pretty cool. I don't know how you did it. We ran out of graphite already. So this is all the super coolant we were able to make. We didn't even make enough for a full tile in each one of these 4 tiles. Alright, while we are here, I'm just gonna go around and make sure that they didn't pick up like extra debris or something or drop it. There's no puffs out of this. That shouldn't be. There is that one nymph egg, but that's fine. Looks like this is all taken care of. We do have a little bit of debris here. This is probably fertilizer for the plants. We have this stuff. We have the petroleum, which is going to go into rockets when the next rocket comes back, so that is going to stay there for a little bit now. And there's probably nothing right here. They haven't actually crossed that area in a long time. We have our debris chiller ready. We should probably start adding in the pipe network for that. Oh, we do have it connected in completely. All we need to do is put the bottles in there. This was what we were doing everywhere to clean up our base. So what we're going to do is wait for the autosave to complete. I'm going to deconstruct all these auto sweepers and automatic dispensers, and then we're going to start cleaning up the bottom of the base. First step is get rid of that dirt or whatever that is. Gino became fully healed and immediately went into the area to dig. They should be able to reach that, but it seems like they are choosing not to. How close are we? This is becoming a vacuum. It was going past the rocket, now it's kind of stuck at the rocket. So it looks like we're getting closer to having this fully vacuumed out. And I was right, it does have to be below 5 milligrams. Because now we're in the microgram range. I don't know how he's still getting overheated. Because there's so little gas, I thought it wouldn't be enough to make them too hot. How much is in here? A couple hundred micrograms. If I time this correctly and we have a vacuum going all the way down to about here, this should hopefully just immediately escape when I break it open. Not too sure, but I think it'll work that way. I think it'll work out well. We'll move this up here now. Oh, that's not where I want it. So I guess by the time Gino is done fully healing, we might have a closer vacuum than we currently do. I don't want to open this right now because that's going to immediately introduce more gas. I'm surprised the triage card only takes 200 kilograms. It's the same as one of the tiles. I thought it would be more than that. Like 400 or 800. And he just picked up enough to do 4 of them and then he dropped it. Trying to think if I want to do this. I want to get a bottle drainer again. A bottle emptier over here. So that we can drop this. And not have to worry about the magma. We did get pretty close to finishing this area. Let's check on the food. See, a lot of food did spoil recently. I don't think it was all, like half of it. And the rest is becoming stale, so we're gonna have to go home in a couple cycles. Dude, why are you not doing anything? Did you finish all this? You did. I am surprised. Do want to try and block all of this though from radiation. We can't build all of these, but we should be able to build a few of them. Yeah, this is still pretty much where it was the last time I checked. Congratulations, Gino, on catching Knucklestack. I should probably update the to-do list. I don't think we updated it. It does still say travel to Waterworld. We already have. Damage overheated. What has damage overheated? Regal, neutronium, thermal, aquatune. Is this becoming overheated? That's where all the water kept coming from. Oh, okay. That explains a little bit of stuff. We need to put a water pump emptier here. And do that. This needs to go below. I'm pretty sure they picked up everything I wanted them to pick up. I'm gonna pause while I deconstruct this stuff now. Power. That should be everything in here, or over here. Oh, we have all this stuff. I didn't even see this stuff here. We'll have them sweep this up rather than the auto sweeper thing. Before they do anything else, we want this. We don't need it out of steel. Back to Charibo. Gino is practically fully healed at this point. Once they do this next tile, I'm going to start deconstructing all these tiles. Because regardless of them being down here, they should still get the radiation protection. That does say 0 rads right there. Oh, we also need to make a way for us to get the stuff out of here. Oh, we do have a way out. Okay. I didn't remember us building that already. Now we can come in here and pause for a second. Sorry, not onto supercoolant. I'm gonna say enable auto bottle because I'm not sure if they're set up to take stuff out of the machine without that. And then Gino is, of course, digging down here and getting overheated again. Hopefully I don't stay down there too long and immediately have to go back on the triage cot. Our vacuum is not too far away. Should probably tell them not to do that. So we can still get this vented out. Him already got hurt. Gino's already running back to the triage cot. Except for right now, they are incapacitated now. Do dupes never die when being carried to a triage cot? I don't know. This whole time I also forgot to change the to-do list. So, to-do list is now updated. There's only 2 things. One of them we're not going to do before the next side story. Hoping to have everything completed by Sunday, so that we can start our next side story on Sunday. We'll definitely have this done. We should also do our first prediction of today, because we do have a few people here. So in the top left corner, in the blue button, is that going to give us some clothing of tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? You guys have 10 minutes to decide, starting right now. Take a look at the food in here. Food is bad. We need to get out of here. We're going to take the little bit of petroleum that we have and go home. Select destination, because this should take us about 3 cycles to get there, and that's pretty much how much calories I have. They're a little under 3. Gino is a little above 3. We need to leave now. I'm pretty sure each star map tile is half a cycle. No, we do not have bionic dupes. That is one of the next stages for Oxygen Not Included. We're doing 3 different maps or playthroughs for our story. Okay, 2.5 cycles, that's fine. They'll both be able to survive that amount. Especially since it just went down to 2.25. How is this doing? It's not getting anything. I'm gonna put the super coolant thing here on a 9. I wonder why all of the water in a way got destroyed. I'm gonna guess that somewhere the water sat for too long inside the steam room, and that made it explode in the pipe, or maybe the water got too cold inside the aqua tuner or something. I'm not sure. I do want them to stop wasting stuff in this stuff. Looks like we might only need 2 bottles of super coolant. Niobium got Leo feeling ready. Now, with us having the super coolant in here, we are cooling down the steam turbines a little bit. I just need somebody to bring another bottle up here. Soon, we're not going to have to worry about this at all, because we're going to be transporting all of the debris into our debris chiller down here. I'm not sure how I'm going to transport hot debris around the base. My immediate response is to make a wall or floor made out of insulated tiles that the conveyor rails would travel through. Just to get down here. What is all this? Is this all wood? It is all wood for the ethanol. Okay. Oh, we finished the conveyor rails down here. So we could have the iron go through this already. I just go like, you know, we'll start it way over here. If I add that in there, then deconstruct all this. That now connects the debris chiller into here. We would have to change this setting, but I'll wait until there's actual iron. Do that with. Why did things stop over here? I don't think it knows where to send the iron. Nothing over here got broken, right? Oh, that's all moving. So yeah, it just doesn't know which direction to go to. So if they build that bridge, it'll immediately start working. How are they doing with the liquids? It looks like they put in another pipe or another bottle. They did. There's 2 separations. And here comes the last bottle. I don't think we'll need another one, but we might. There's also a Lampent in chat. Lampent is a Gen 5 Pokemon from Pokemon Black and White. It evolves into a chandelier. And it's one of my favorites from those games. Do we get 2 more packets of liquid? We do! Do we have an extra? No, we actually have the exact amount that we needed. That's pretty cool. So I can turn this back on. And I'm gonna enable auto repair. They can fix that again if they need to, because that'll be the last time they have to fix that. Hopefully. We do have 1 empty pipe because the aqua tuner turned on. It takes that extra space. When it turns off, it'll refill that area. So we're leaving here at about 74 degrees. We're coming in at about 80. So this will take a couple trips going around. It will cool down this area though. And now that we picked up all the cold debris, or at least moved it, this whole asteroid is going to just start overheating ever so slowly. Of course, the places that are cold are probably where we have an insulated water geyser. And then we have our aqua tuners being... not our aqua tuners, our steam turbines cooling down the immediate area around them, but that's not going to cool down the entire asteroid that we have. How far away are our dupes? 1 cycle. Okay, what we're going to do now is start setting up our auto sweepers, taking everything from over here, way over here to the left. We're going to do a funny zigzag shape going up here, just to push it over to the left. It's going to be way overkill. There is no reason to do it, other than I think it'll be fun. Now that iron is still not moving yet, which means that they still have yet to do this. I actually don't think that they can do this bridge. I'm going to deconstruct those 2. I should be able to get in there. And then for deconstructing these bridges, or conveyor rails, I'm going to start putting ladders every 5th ladder. That'll be able to get all of them. Regus is now able to build that bridge. Once they build that bridge, they should be able to, the iron should be able to move around again. We don't have this set up and working yet, because I didn't know how much... Where is it? How much super coolant we're going to have. We did use quite a bit, but we're probably going to run out before we finish. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that. Somebody just rode by on what sounded like a bicycle and was cursing at someone outside. I don't know. That was just weird. That's not what I meant to click on. Conveyor rails. Heard a voice, didn't understand what it said. Perfect. Because they were not hiding the fact that they were cursing. We can now sweep all that up. And I guess this as well. Hopefully they build these 2 tiles before the iron overheats this area. I'm gonna let the iron loop around until this gets completely full, and then we'll set it out regardless of if it's cooled down enough. I could put the supercoolant in here right now, though. Let's see how difficult it would be to put the supercoolant in. Our other rockets should be coming in pretty soon. So we go there, we do this. We're gonna turn that on below 25 degrees so that when it gets in there, it immediately turns off. And then we get to see all this aluminum get superheated. Actually, how do I know when this would get 600? Does the iron get to 600 degrees? Yes, it does. We could end up melting the aluminum tiles. Actually, no, we won't. Because we have a cooling system for inside the steam before it gets sent out. I also need to take a quick restroom break. So, in just a second, once I get papers nailed down. A large gust of wind just came in through the windows. Alright, we're gonna take a quick restroom break. The game paused. And when we come back, we're gonna do our first of 3 predictions and then immediately start the second prediction so that we can do that hopefully by the start of the next hour if I don't forget. So I'll be right back. Alright, back to this. Our second rocket did just land, so that means the petroleum up here should be emptied. So we'll break that pipe part. We will come into here. You can greenlight it. Thank you. Welcome in, Mr. Rusty, by the way. I just don't know how to greenlight it. That's the issue. But anyway, we're going to do our first prediction, like I said. We have 1,000 points in decorations, 30 points in wallpaper. Watch it be a building. That would be funny. Clothing, on the other hand, is very common, so it's kind of expected. This is bottoms. So we'll complete that. We're going to immediately start the next prediction because we only have about an hour left of our stream. So what's in the pod is the next pod going to be tops, bottoms like this one, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper. You guys have 10 minutes to decide. And around the start of the next hour, I will do the prediction. If someone uses it on the Twitch mod thingy, you get the option to allow the term. I do get the option of allowing it to be sent as a message, but I don't want to have to allow it every time they use it. Because it is your name. If it was something else, like a slur or something, I wouldn't allow it, but this is somebody's name, so I want them to be able to. Now we do have niobium here. We can now go over here and start making thermium. And we're going to make as much as we can until we run out. We're apparently going to run out before our tungsten runs out. So we're not even going to make 1 ton. We make about half a ton, and then that's it. Mod for 2 seconds. I'll add if you want. I'll do it off stream. Although I don't have a problem with you, Mr. Rusty. I just don't want to mod people. At least right now. Tame the volcano? I don't know if I'm going to tame the Niobium volcano yet. It's at the same place you can allow it permanently. But can't remember. Been a minute. That's okay. I don't want to geotune and tame it. Okay, We are going to do the auto sweepers while we wait for the rocket to be ready to go back to get more niobium. We technically don't need to come back here for anything. We got what we came here for. But we're gonna come back just to spend a little bit more time here. We also want to make a debris chiller over here on this asteroid. So that's gonna be probably all of what we do on Friday. Because there is an iron volcano right here. We could send the aluminum and the iron volcano through a debris chiller here that keeps it at a reasonable temperature. And then again send it through our at-home volcano or debris chiller. We'll also use the duplicants to finally dig out the rest of the asteroid like we were doing beforehand, and then we never came back to finish. So, Wodato. All the way at the bottom. Rock gas? No, we do not have rock gas. It was only sour gas. In Charibo, down here in our building, this used to be full of drywall, and during our stream on Sunday, all the pieces of drywall started to melt. My only way of understanding how this all started to melt, even though it was in a vacuum, is that the magma right here melted the tiles that would have been in the same spot, which created sour gas that then started breaking all the other drywalls. The only ones that are lasting still are the obsidian drywalls, and they will never break, as far as I know. So that's what happened there. So, down here, we're gonna make auto sweepers. I don't care if they're made out of steel or not. I am, however, going to make it on the floor just to make it a little bit easier. Then this one would go here. We're making sure that they don't overlap at all. They don't overlap, do they? No. I'm gonna keep forgetting where they end. But I know I can just count 7 tiles and that'll be fine. This one is gonna be problematic. Yeah. So this one will be rotated right here. It'll still get the same area. And then we have ladders here for some reason. We don't need all those ladders. It's the ladder that made the sour gas, not the drywall normally. Break obsidian with Niobium. There were ladders in there? I guess there were plastic ladders. I don't remember there being ladders in that building, but probably what happened. There, and then this one. Squeeze right there. Now we get the fun part of putting in all these automatic dispensers. Facing the left, and they go on the 3rd tile to the left of the auto sweeper. One, two, three. The only one that's not going to get a dispenser is this one, because this is when we start going vertical, and that is going to be complicated. What's not complicated is going like this to connect them all in. The next thing is to allow standard, put it on a 1 so nobody manually does it. And as I start getting all connected in, they'll start sweeping up the area for us. And we won't have to do it manually. They will place all the debris right here on this tile. So the next thing is to get this reaching all the way up. So I want to see where I can place a tile. I'm gonna guess that if I place a tile here and then this here, it should still be able to reach it. Because I don't think that tile will block far enough up. Doesn't seem like it blocks it at all. The thing is with this is I actually want this rotated the other direction. And then you're probably going to be able to reach it. So I'm going to want another tile here. We still want this auto sweeper so I can grab all this stuff. But what I'm trying to do is create a place for the next auto sweeper up here to reach and then place up again. If that makes sense. So we want it to reach the debris, but not the auto dispenser. But you should not be able to reach it. You still can. So I need a corner piece right there. This one still can reach that, but we need to do the same thing up here. So if I put a tile right there... Nope, there's one too far. I can place this facing that way. Still can be reached. Let's see if there's any other of these that yet to be filtered. Looks like just one. Some of them are already connected into power, so they're moving stuff over to the left side. How is this 9 enable auto bottle super coolant? They did add that in. This isn't full of iron yet. It's also staying around 120. So that reaches here. We need the next one to reach there and to the left. So we'll go here. And then from here on, we're doing the same thing as before. That gas reservoir is troublesome for us. Yeah, can't reach all the way over. Can, however... I'm just gonna have it dispensed up a block. If I were to go here, I don't think this auto sweeper would reach this tile. We're gonna test this out. Definitely have to break that. Oh, they're putting stuff up there even without it powered. I forgot that we don't have to power the dispensers. Having them powered makes them faster, but you don't need them powered for this situation. Okay, so one definitely goes right here. We're trying to see if this tile can be seen by this auto sweeper, and it can. If I go up again, I would break into this. So what if I break this and bring that down a tile, leaving this where it is? They're doing pretty well in getting all this stuff. Can this auto sweeper see that top? It cannot. So this auto sweeper cannot get any debris that's left there. So that means I can place this right here, and then this auto sweeper just needs to not see that debris thing. We'll do that. I'll put a tile right here with another one of these right there. And then the next one has to reach the next part, which I think has to go above the transformer about a tile to the left. Yep. And that reaches the fourth ladder. We'll then just do that. That should take care of everything, so if we just add power, that's all we need. Do I want to power these? Nah. I will power what needs to be powered, though. Like that. How is the rocket doing? The rocket is not fully filled of oxalite. That's not what I meant to click on. This should be grounded so that they actually fill stuff in here. Can I get everything out of this without deconstructing it? I guess just clicking none will make them take everything out? I don't know. Regular blueprint. I don't really want more shovels. We have quite a bit. This storage bin is actually completely full. Let's build another one. This is our seed storage. We have Dracos in here, so I'm gonna just say kill them all. How are they doing on filling this with liquid? They're doing pretty good. And in terms of how much liquid we have, we've gone through about half. Oh, that's right, that gets pumped in there. So we definitely have to go back for more graphite. Is there a way to get more? Is there a renewable way of getting graphite? I don't think there is. That's granite. Graphite. Graphite can be heated into refined carbon. Returned into fullerene, which is what we're using it for. Fullerene in the rock crusher gives us the same amount of graphite that we use to make the same amount of fullerene. So there's no renewable way of making graphite? Well, that's unfortunate. What if you don't spawn into a map that has a lot, and then you need a lot? You space mine it. Oh. Oh. So it'd be one of these. Obviously not this one, because I clicked on an ice one. Do the icons tell you everything that's in it? This one is copper. Get that. I see the glass. That's the iron. I don't see a sand icon, so maybe it doesn't show all of it, but it shows you the more needed. No, this doesn't show the methane or the carbon dioxide. I want to see if any of the uncovered asteroid fields that we have has any of it in it. Oh, no, that's granite. That's not graphite. That's definitely 2 more fields. This is 2 more. This is 2 more here. They're way too close for it to be a planet. So we just haven't unlocked one. there is a Weezing in chat. That's another Gen 1 Pokemon. Apparently I have it. Okay, well, we're definitely going to go back to the water planet and just mine that entire asteroid. I don't know how we're going to do it. We could... We could bring a SPOM setup all the way over there. It would take some bit of work to get that set up, but it would just be a SPOM into an oxygen room. So that we don't have to keep using the rocket and we can just keep digging. Okay, with this, we should be bringing everything up and over now. So everything over here is going to eventually be disappeared. There was a place up here on the left that we need to sweep up. Put that on manual so that they have something to do while they're idle. Other than that, I think we just need to move all the debris over to these three tiles. And then we'll have this on an infinite pickup command. So we're almost done this. This would have to be right where the ladder is, so we'll deconstruct the one at the bottom. And then right here, 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 and should probably do it from the left, because we're not going all the way over to the left. So I actually need this auto sweeper to be right here. And then we get into an issue with this one needing to not be able to see the other side of the ladder. Which I could... Oh, that does have to be rotated. Okay. That is where it needs to be. I just need to deconstruct both of these. I don't think that's in the right spot. No, let's put in the power before the autosave. That's why I keep pausing. And then if we can put this in, we will. There we go. That should be all of the setup that we need to move everything over to the ladder. It looks like a majority of the stuff that's being moved right now is sand. Why are you not doing anything? Oh, because this is one tile too far over. And this is one... Did I put all these one tile too far to the right? I did! What? I did the second tile instead of the third tile. Probably easier if I just go like this. I'm gonna pause for a second because they're probably gonna come down here and deconstruct things quicker than I want them to. I did put all these on the second tile from the auto sweeper. That's fine. Hopefully they rebuild all that quickly. Another thing I could do is have an auto sweeper down here going to a conveyor rail and bringing that all the way up into our debris chiller. It would take a long time to go through this, but might be beneficial. Are we out of this yet? I don't know if that's going to make a full bottle. I guess you need a full 200 kilograms to make a full bottle. We do have some amount of super coolant though. I knew going into this that we weren't going to have enough to fill the entire thing. Did they build all? They did build all of them. Wow. Why are you acting like you can't reach it? I built the auto sweepers one tile too far to the right. So although this side is spaced out between the things, they're not where they should be. Yeah, that should get all of them working again. Which means that this should be bringing stuff up yet again. At the same rate that this is giving it more. Starvation, Willow. Alright, first step, move these all over one, because that'll probably be the easier thing to do. And then I'm gonna deconstruct all of them, except for the first one. And all the auto sweepers there. I'm actually gonna pause so that they don't... the autosave doesn't go through yet. And this one can actually be laid flat on the ground. Alright, so this auto sweeper is going to finish before this one does, because it only has a small amount. And this one is picking up everything that's coming from the right side of the colony. Now the right side of the colony is all set up and working. So we do have our Congo line. Alright, that is it for here. It is the start of a new hour, so let's do our second prediction and then immediately start our third one that we will open at the end of the stream. We have 6,900 points in bottoms, we have 10 points in buildings, and 30 points in wallpaper. Let's see what we get. We got bottoms! So everyone who put in those 6.9 thousand points are now going to get an extra 40. Congratulations on whoever won. Rigged? Okay. Let's start the third one. So is the next pod going to be another part of tops or bottoms? We did have 2 pants. Or is it going to be buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? Now, saying that, I've never had 3 of the same thing happen in a row. I've never had 3 wallpapers in a row, never had 3 bottoms in a row, but we have had chance of having 3 things of clothing because we're labeling as tops and bottoms as 2 different things. So, although I'm gonna guarantee we won't have another pair of pants, can't guarantee the next thing is not gonna be like a pair of gloves or shoes or something. Okay, this is probably gonna be going all the way through Friday's stream. I doubt that this is gonna be all swept up and out of here. The bottles are also not going to be swept up at all. The duplicates have to come down here to get the water. They're probably picking up the water already and putting it into the thing that gives them water to drink from. That's more water. This should be more water. Actually, that's liquid naphtha. That's going to be the last thing sitting there. There, I think, was water over here, but they probably already picked it up. Anyway, this being brought all the way over here should help them pick this stuff up quicker because they can just come down here, get it, and then go back up. Or they take the pole down. Either way. Is our rocket ready? Our rocket is ready. We do have food. This is still queued up to not have niobium in it. And I don't think we need to do that. Also, that is all the niobium I think we have on our asteroid over here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to deconstruct all of these. Build in regular tiles there. We'll keep this one here because I don't think we're going to get 1,000 kilograms. I don't think we have a ton of niobium on the other asteroid. I wish the graphite that we could get from asteroids was also infinite, but I'm pretty sure the asteroids lose how much they have over time. Once they sweep this area and build the tiles, we're ready for this to go back. We can also queue up our Curious Sputnik to go over to our second asteroid to get the breach other ready over there. We got a Weezbor in our other pod here. So this is going to be seeds yet again. We'll pick up all these seeds that are in there. All these seeds over here. Which I'm surprised that the auto sweepers aren't picking up, so let me set that up to be part of these 2 things. I actually went past seeds. Thought it was at the bottom, it's not. Seeds, we want... Oh, that's right, we're not supposed to be able to get seeds. I'm pretty sure you only get seeds when you have a plant that grows completely, and the Dracos are supposed to be eating these mealwoods. Why are you on this? How are you requiring more power? Oh. Petroleum problem? Petroleum problem for sure. Because we got the rocket back and it took this long to get the line mostly figured out. I think we're just having an issue with oil. Yeah, we are having an issue keeping this running. So this will keep going back and forth. We will get that figured out eventually. And I think what I want to do, since we don't have enough super coolant to do anything else, is I'm gonna break the pipe right here when there's no supercoolant going through it, just so that all this can be stacked on top of each other. So just like that. It will then all stop and get stuck. And I'm just trying to fill in the empty spaces so that there's one big empty space. And then we're going to turn on the aqua tuner. So there's going to be a period of rest on the pipes, but they should be injecting a lot of heat. Or a lot of chill. And I think I can actually turn this down to 0, right? Supercoolant's not going to freeze. That would be a cool thing to try and do, freeze the supercoolant. We just keep sending it through the aqua tuner. I'm gonna wait until the supercoolant is no longer going through the aqua tuner before I turn it on. So that'll take a little bit. There is a Carvana in chat if anyone wants a piranha. They're almost done sweeping up all this. There's a lot of liquid right here for some reason. And I'm debating on putting auto sweepers in this area just so that we can put all this, or pick up all this debris that they're dropping here at the floor. Not a dedicated system like down here at the bottom of the base, which this aqua tuner is, not aqua tuner, this auto sweeper is now done. I'm going to deconstruct all of this stuff since it can't be reached anyway. The stuff on the right side of the colony is getting picked up pretty quickly now. And this is almost done running its course. So we're gonna sit here and wait for this to go through because it should only take about, what, 20 seconds? Oh, we are running out of water for our oxygen. I just noticed that. Where did all of this liquid go, though? That should have stayed filled in. We're gonna have to take a look at our power network. Maybe we ran out of coal? Yeah, we're not burning coal. That's part of the issue here. We're gonna turn that aqua tuner on, which is gonna cause even more stuff to happen. Or I guess in this sense, not happen. We're not doing this. The auto sweepers also are probably not helping. How many of these have debris everywhere except one time? These two are only picking up stuff that's being dropped off. These two have stuff and tiles that aren't where someone is dropping off. I'm gonna sweep up all these bottles. This has a lot of stuff in this area. Did they finish cleaning out Uranus? They did not. Okay, let's set this on a 6. I want to get that stuff out of there. The Curious Sputnik is what we would be bringing everything over to our second colony with. Is it worth doing the steam turbines right now? I don't think so. spoiler, well, Aquatuner will say liquid too cold, freezing, supercoolant would crash the fabric of the universe by being under absolute zero. Okay. Thank you, Redneck. I won't spend an immense amount of time trying to do that then. It's saying insufficient oxygen, but we should have tons of oxygen in here. Yeah, we have 41,746 kilograms of oxygen still in here. So we're not gonna run out anytime soon. Sounds like trying to melt a dupe. Can you even melt a dupe without them dying? Wobby. Because we're not getting water. Whoa. Oh, that's right, the bathroom goes into here. And why is this still disabled? What? That's part of the reason why we're not getting any power. How much power do I need on this? I think I might need another duplicate running on this. That should be adding liquid into this, making us water for the bathroom. Because it should be still prioritized over everything, right? Where's this little packet of water going? It is going up into the bathroom, alright. They should be able to use this one too, though. Why are they not using this toilet? They're not able to use it because it's assigned to a hospital? I don't know why that wasn't set up for the med packs. These three things are rad pills. That's the syringe. No, it's not. This isn't set up for anything. Should be the syringe, though. How far are we away from having this filled in again? We're starting to get a lot of salt water. That should help us a little bit. This not staying on is not helping us, so we need to put in that system over here as well. Without this getting a constant power source, we're not going to be able to keep up with our power. I need all that done now. That's probably not enough power to run this entire thing, but we're going to see how it works. We're at least getting all the water we need, so we should have our toilets up and running. People will hopefully stop peeing their pants. Should be able to start cleaning the base from the top bottom, or top down, I mean. So this was fun. I don't want to move the other dupes out of here in the rocket, because then we lose labor. They built all of this, so I just need to keep this a high priority. It's been a while since we had a power issue. We have a few things that we can deconstruct down here, so I'll set that up to be deconstructed. Once this gets all the abyssalate, this whole section is done until this autosweeper gets all the stuff that it's surrounded by. I tried melting Jorge in his house, but all I got was disappointment from melted steel. Oh no. Now, although deconstructing this will give us stuff back, it's not actually helping us get our power back because the things have already turned off, so it's not like we're gaining power by deconstructing things now. We should be getting a little bit of power by doing that. We are burning hydrogen right now. That's because we have a dupe running over here. This is just not enough to run all of this. So I'm going to put in... we're going to keep doing just one wheel at a time until we see that it's working and able to keep up. Let's sweep up all of this. And the ranch there. There's a little bit in the bedroom. And we'll do the kitchen as well. That's where I'm going to stop for the moment. How many suits are over here? 2 suits. Why is this not all being powered? Seems weird. We also should probably put in a battery that leads to this. You found a way to gamble in the server by rooster fighting. That's a fun way to do that. Which rooster comes out on top? I'll train them like Pokemon. I don't know if it works out that way. I don't think they gain more health as they get older. Like, I don't think Generation 5 is stronger than Generation 4. All this. Did they do the stuff over here? They did, so let's get another dupe on this. We'll see if 2 dupes can get this to run longer than it is. Oh, we do have this going. I didn't think of that. We kind of need this on its own separate line. So I'm thinking let's add in transformer just for this section, because we don't need the debris chiller running constantly, but we kind of do need this all running constantly. There's a dock spawn in the chat. Feed them other roosters. For those that don't know, Leofar is talking about Vintage Story. You know, we could right now just deconstruct this. I'll even take it off now so that it stops. Going off the numbers, it does look like 2 dupes is enough to start charging the battery. Which means that this should always stay running. The natural gas can build up, doesn't matter. Why does that look like it's making carbon dioxide? That's weird. Is somebody else gonna come in and vent this one now? Yep. Oh, they came in for a second. They didn't really vent much. But with that making oil constantly, due to two dupe labor, we should go back to making petroleum consistently. Once this all gets worked in. And I think that helped is the fact that some of the auto sweepers were deleted. I think we put too much strain on our power setup. We should have just moved everything over, then up and over, and then over again, rather than doing it all at once, because this is just using power and moving it all over. It's 120 watts to move 1,000 kilograms of one single item, and we're doing that consistently all the way over. So how long until this gets a full bottle? Wait, why are we skipping here? Oh, we're down to 1 dupe. Okay. It does still look like we're making power back, though. We're kind of staying afloat. We definitely do need 2 dupes running this consistently. Luckily, we are getting the petroleum back up here. Our next bottleneck is the aqua tuners not running. Let's also get a second dupe running over here. So that we can always have power from that. Because we do have a lot of petroleum just stuck in here. So it's not necessarily the aqua tuners being the only issue. The petroleum not leaving is also an issue. And that's set on a 9. Once they build the power pieces to that, we'll be good. Alright. Funny that dupes are running on wheels right above a volcano that would generate way more power than... Yeah, that's a good point. Redneck is pointing out the fact that there's a large volcano right here that I've not tamed because space requirements. I don't want to move the ladder and pull. Although we're not really using that ladder, right? I could be using the tubes to get over on this side rather than... We might actually change that now that Redneck pointed that out. And then that could mean that we can make a large steam room over here with steam turbines. Long enough for us to get all the magma out of that. Redneck, you drive a hard bargain. Our gases, on the other hand, have almost risen above our dirty brick. Carbon dioxide is getting up there. We are still at about a kilogram per tile, though. Alright, with this autosave, that is going to be the end of today's stream. We're going to queue up mopping any liquid that I can see aside from stuff I already know is at the bottom. I don't see any other pee, so I'm going to do this now. That's the alarm. What are we doing on this? That's doing good. Over here, we're doing better now that we have 2 people running on the wheels. We don't have 2 people right now, but they did just make that battery completely full before they ran away. So the next step that we could do is add more batteries, so that this can run long enough for 2 people to come back over. Probably 2 more batteries would be fine. A 4th total battery might be pushing it in terms of what we need necessarily. Obviously, the more batteries, the better. Same thing would go over here if we add in more batteries. Obviously, 2 dupes is just enough for us to charge us up. A 3rd dupe would charge it up quicker, but we only need 2 dupes. And then each battery after that would obviously do better for us. So, let's go over what we have left to accomplish before we raid out. We do still have the 3rd prediction to do. So if you guys have put any points in, stay tuned for that in a couple minutes. They're still swooping up stuff from over here. This is our big pile of stuff from everything to the right of this pile. So that's going to take a long time for them to take away. For the most part, it's kind of just down to debris that was already sitting here. A lot of the stuff that's in this section on the right side of this second ladder is stuff that's been dropped from up here. So it is going to take a long time for this to get taken away. And then it, of course, gets dropped all the way over here, and we still have to pick up all this stuff. I can tell them to start sweeping this up, but I'm going to wait until all the auto sweepers are done, because the dupes are probably still going to be coming down here to pick up stuff that the auto sweepers have not moved yet. Let's do regular pod. Ooh, we can get free food. Ethanol gets turned into a plant liquid, something that the plants drink. So I'm considering ethanol a food source now. We do have a lot of suits that are not being put onto the dock, so I don't know what's going on with that. It could be because of power, it could be they're just too lazy to do it. Don't know. It could be that there's just too many people running on the manual generators. In terms of our liquids, our petroleum is getting better. The longer we can keep the petroleum generators consistently running, the longer our whole system will be less manually powered. So I'm looking forward to that coming back. Once it's all back, it'll be fine until we have another rocket land, which will be an issue because we're going to try and send up 2 more rockets. So that means there's going to be 2 more landings. We're going to send this rocket back on Friday. Old Uranus is going to go all the way back to Taribo. We're going to try and finish getting all of this stuff. We're going to also, if we still have enough food, go all the way to Waddlin and get as much graphite as we can from here so that we can fill in our supercoolant. We might also make a spam over here just so that we have a room of oxygen with all this water. I might also try and put all this water into a infinite water storage. That might actually be the thing that we need to do the most, just so that we can bring the water down further, which would let them be able to move faster, I think. Other than that, we're pretty much done. The thing that we're going to do for our screenshot is this asteroid, because this is what we did the most, aside from trying to make our main asteroid survivable. So let's do our third prediction. We have 10 points in buildings, 1,000 points in decorations, and 30 points in wallpaper. Now, chat, this is what I was trying to say earlier. We just had 3 bottoms in a row, but it wasn't 3 pairs of pants. And I hate that we got 3 things in a row. I would have liked tops, if anything, rather than another pair of bottom portion clothing. So unfortunately, nobody's winning any points this time, and I kind of feel like it's on me. Because I was almost selling the fact that we weren't going to get something bottom related. So unfortunately, I'm stealing all your points. We're going to do Control S once I get this centered, or Alt S to hide the UI. Print screen, screenshot. Alt S again to bring back the UI. We're going to go into Wudado, and we're going to set up what I need to be looking at to know what we're doing next. I think we just need to be looking at the petroleum generators so that I know to make sure that these are running. So let's do a hard save. Then we will do save and quit. Is just to make sure that it's saved. And let's go into a raid out scene, find out who we're going to raid out to. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.